Hello YouTube, Vlogging Eric's Rants here, and this week my video is about the London Bridge and Borough Market terrorist attacks. It looks like it's an Islamic terrorist attack, but it's not 100% sure yet. This video will be treating it as if it is. So what happened? Well, just after Saturday, 10 PM local time, 3 terrorists drove a van onto the pedestrian section of the London Bridge and ran down over 50 people, killing 7 and injuring almost 50. After running the people down, the terrorists drove to the Borough Market where they left the van and started slashing the throats of people, including seriously injuring a police officer. They also stabbed people in the market as well. Eventually, armed officers confronted the terrorists and the terrorists were all shot and killed. There were 3 of them. This whole incident occurred within about 10 minutes, which is a very short period of time. There were initial fears that the terrorists were wearing suicide vests, but the vests were eventually revealed to be fake after the terrorist was shot. A third stabbing at Vauxhall is unrelated, although initially there were fears it was another attack. So of course, this is a savage and brutal attack, and it is a major symbol of the grief this has caused, when both the Conservative Party and the Labour Party have suspended their campaigns for the day less than a week out from the election. Of course, this terrorist attack will strongly influence the election outcome. So, I have a few things to say in this video. Firstly, of course, this is a terrible attack done by fundamentalist madmen. What role a fundamentalist interpretation of Islam, the foreign policies of several countries, especially in the Middle East in regards to Syria and Iraq, and this does include Britain, how much wanting their 15 minutes of fame, and the fact that these terrorist attacks are covered enormously and extensively, and what other factors may have played a role in this attack, we don't know. The terrorists are dead. It's likely fundamentalism does play a big role, but all the 3 terrorists are dead, so it's going to be a lot harder to determine a motive. Most likely, though, it's going to be a combination of all that I've mentioned, because that's pretty much always the case. I also want to draw your attention to the terrorist attack that happened in London, the one I'm talking about right now, and the terrorist attack in Oregon last week that I made a video on. Check it out in the annotations. Mainly, the fact the perpetrator slashed the throat of the victims. The knives used were apparently hunting knives, which are designed to kill animals. And since humans are animals, slashing people's throats are unfortunately a pretty effective way to kill people. They did stab people as well. Considering there are a few critical, the toll's probably going to increase a bit as well. Finally, this is the grim reality. As ISIS continues to lose ground in Syria and Iraq, as they're squeezed by the Iraqi army and the Kurds, the blowback will continue to hit Europe. It will blow back on America. Hopefully not, but sooner or later there is a chance it's going to blow back on Australia as well. I do also want to say, Europe, you failed. You should have had a proper vetting program in place, like the one the US has, and you should have vetted the people that came into your countries. Since you didn't, these attacks will continue to happen. Also, we have to end our relationship with Saudi Arabia, the Wahhabist terrorist state, the group that funded and carried out 9/11, the group that funds radical mosques, the group that is blockading Yemen, the group that is funding Al-Qaeda and all these jihadist groups in Syria and Iraq and other places. End our relationship with them. Sanction them. Get rid of their power in the area. And, by the way, they have the same ideology as ISIS and Al-Qaeda. They're the ISIS that made it. They're, at least with the Taliban, Saudi Arabia is what the Taliban wants to be. And ISIS wants to be on a global scale. We also have to shut down radical mosques, infiltrate the mosques with spies, find out what's being preached, and shut down the radical ones. You do this, and the terrorist attacks in Europe will decrease sharply. Finally, did France take in a ton of refugees from the Middle East as well? Or is it spillover from Germany? Because it seems that France is having as many, if not more, terrorist attacks in Germany has over the last few years. just something I've wondered about. So, that is my video for this week. I hope you found it interesting. Please rate, comment, share and subscribe. Have a great day everyone, and check out a couple articles I've got linked up in the description section.